Thank you. Senator Capito.
Thank you, and welcome, Mr. Nolen. Thank you for your service and long years of service. Let me ask just a quick question. Is the FAA workforce in the office 5 days a week now?
No, ma'am, they're not.
Do you know how that breaks out? 20% are?
I don't have the numbers. I'm happy to follow up with you on that. But we've got folks who are in the office, and there's coverage every day. Let me qualify that. Our operational people are indeed in the office every day, or in the control rooms every day.
Do you anticipate the rest of the workforce will come back every day?
We are working through, I believe, across all of government to say, as we come out of the backside of the pandemic, to make sure that we've got that tempo. What I want to make sure for the American public is that what the work we do is accomplished no matter where the person is sitting.
Understood. Yeah, I would hope everybody would eventually get back there.
Yes, ma'am.
As you know, and I think this was addressed, Senators Klobuchar and Moran and I have introduced the NOTAM Improvement Act, S66. I think you've addressed this, establishing a task force of experts to come up with recommendations to make the important pilot notification system better. While I know you've been trying to improve the system for years, can you tell us the benefits of having this legislation and assembling these experts with a clear list of objectives and deadlines to give recommendations? Could you address that?
Well, thank you. What I can say about that is we support the goals of this legislation, and we're working in that level. We are working with industry stakeholders. We work with an earlier group as we started the journey of modernizing our NOTAM system.
Do you think that having that stronger NOTAM system would cut down on the 1,732 runway incursions we saw in 2022?
I certainly think getting to that advanced system, prioritizing all the things that we've talked about here this morning, will make the system more resilient. And so I'd love to see us get there quicker.
Let me ask you this about contractors. We've noticed that, and you noted cybersecurity are a major issue. And we're also concerned that, as Senator Duckworth was talking about, the contractor unintentionally deleting files, causing the outage on January the 11th. You stated that new protocol requires more than one person to be present when database work occurs. Can you tell us how many contractors have access to the NOTAM system? And does the other person that needs to be present, is that an FAA person, or is it could they be a contractor?
Yes, ma'am. So let me say, firstly, for the contractors that were directly involved in the unintentional deletion, they no longer have access to either FAA facilities or the NOTAM system. So we do have other contractors. I don't have the exact number in front of me, but happy to follow up there. And we also have a level of FAA oversight. And so part of
So it could be either or?
Yes, ma'am. No, there is always FAA oversight.
Okay. I was going to ask you a question about 5G. We've had hearings in this committee on the issues between the FAA and the FCC. And I know Senator Duckworth is going to do some questions for the record, but what is your communications strategy with the FCC on this so we don't run up against another deadline and have another hearing and then everything seems to break down?
Thank you for the question. We are working very closely with the FCC and the NTIA, as well as the industry, on all things 5G. We've got a regular cadence of meetings with the FCC on this, and we are in a position where we have better alignment, and we've got an absolute sense of transparency going there.
Well, I would encourage that. Let me ask you a question coming from a rural state with smaller airports. What would you say the biggest challenge moving forward the next 10 to 20 years is going to be for our smaller regional airports?
What gives me, a lot of hope is as we start to see advanced air mobility. I mean, it really excites me. And that ability to not only go between cities, but to connect smaller cities as well. When we think about urban air taxis and what the possibilities are there, I think it's fascinating, to be quite honest. We continue to look at how, what's that level of support. I can't speak to the economics of it. That's not within my purview. But we are a strong supporter of our system. We look for ways, how do we support, certainly from a Federal Aviation Administration.
Thank you. And I would like to just thank you and your representatives that are in West Virginia. We have a lot of contact with them. We have some You've probably flown into West Virginia.
I have.
It takes a little bit of skill, I think, and in some cases, a lot of skill. So they are very responsive to us and reply and help us in a short period of time. So please convey my appreciation for that.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for the feedback. We'll certainly pass it on.
Thank you.
Thank you.